just with you today to do a rewatch of Twin Peaks, the first episode of season 2. Hopefully you can hear me alright. It's a bit echoey in here and there's this motorbike outside revving its engine. I've heard a lot of people complain about this initial scene because of the length of the scene and because of the frustrating actions of this waiter guy, room service guy, I suppose. He acts as if he's senile or has dementia because he doesn't seem to realise what's fully going on. Even the telephone seems like an alien object to him, and he hangs up even though that someone's on the line. Something that draws you into this scene, the anticipation of the anticipation of whether he's going to fully understand sooner or later, or if someone else is going to come to Cooper's aid. It just keeps you on, you know, on the tips of your toes. I'm sorry. When he asks him to sign, it's pretty funny.
Yes, sir.
It's almost as if he's going through his normal routine of how he speaks to guests without realizing that there's something different. It's almost as if he's on autopilot. This guy is so frail. He looks like he's been doing this for a long time. I mean, it's funny, but Cooper's lying there bleeding, and it's funny and scary at the same time. The guy comes back to give another thumbs up and a wink. I like this shot we see of the giant. Obviously the camera is on the floor, so the giant actually looks like bigger than the actor is in real life, I expect. I know the actor is quite tall in real life, but he looks like a supernatural giant because of the way that the actor is shot. Okay, so we get these 3 cryptic clues from the giant, and there's another clue, a question, where have you gone, and also some, he asks Cooper for his ring. This kind of makes you think about the ring which comes in later with the ring that Laura Palmer had and Teresa Banks had before her. It's almost like the ring is a promise. That scene really makes you think like that Twin Peaks is just like a dreamland. Another plane of existence, really, where beings can just fade in and out of reality. And people like Cooper, who perhaps are tuned into something else, also can fade in and out of either timelines or dimensions. There's a way to see Jerry Horn get mad. For once, we don't often see him get angry. In fact, I can't remember him getting angry before. He's very manipulative. He knows that he has a lot of power over Blackie. The scene with Ben and Audrey is pretty horrible, and it feels almost as long as that scene with the old room service guy. So Cooper is having a sort of near-death experience almost, and it makes him consider what he would have liked to have done in life had he been given the chance. Things that Cooper says tells you a lot about him as a person, and we get to know more about his, you know, desires and needs in life. It's very work driven, as in he mentions he would like to have solved the Lindbergh kidnapping case. He also recognizes the importance of finding pleasures in life from simple things like sitting in the grass. Oh god. I'm just laughing at the tick on the bullet. What a way to kill a tick. I believe that is Mark Frost who does a cameo in this episode as the newsreader who's reporting from the mill being burned. So Maddie talking to Sarah, you get the sense that she is
Right here.
she has the same ability to tap into dreams and visions as Sarah does. Clearly Leland is completely off the rails now. He seems to have gone slightly mad, and his hair has obviously turned white, completely white. He looks like some kind of strange being. He looks affected by something, you know? Supernaturally affected. Madeline sees this blood pattern on the floor, and it's like a warning. The scene with Andy getting hit by the board I thought was a little bit I just think it's a little bit too much. It's like slapstick humor. It's almost on the point of being horrible. It's so cruel, and you know, the fact that he's got blood all over his face, and yet he's like laughing like a moron. And it just goes on and on again. It's another scene in this episode that is drawn out. The girls, Donna and Madeline, have Laura's sunglasses, and they appear to be affected by wearing the sunglasses. It's almost as if some kind of aura that Laura had whilst wearing the glasses has remained with the item. When Madeline removes the glasses, she slowly returns from a state of being Laura-esque to Madeline again.
We can all take a hayride. Come in.
So Albert clearly isn't one with rural life. Albert is one of the funnier characters in Twin Peaks. He does, you know, come across as obnoxious, but you can't help but laugh at everything he says, because there is a degree of truth in what he says about how Twin Peaks is like a hick town. As the episodes go on, it's clear that what happened to Laura and who killed Laura has a supernatural aspect. At the beginning of the series it wasn't quite as clear, but things are getting to the point where it's pretty obvious that the things that has happened to Cooper, his visions, his dreams, etc., and Madeline and Sarah's visions and dreams as well, they're all interconnected. Okay, so Donna is having a real character evolvement. She is supposed to be influenced by these sunglasses. She is exhibiting a lot of the behaviours that we see from Laura in Fire Walk With Me. It's amusing how Cooper says to Andy and Lucy, behave yourselves as if they are children, because sometimes they come across as having the mentality of children. Okay, so Dr. Jacoby admits that it was him who took the half-heart necklace, because he followed James and Donna. I think he realises at this stage that the truth is more important than his whatever motivated him to do that, you know, his bizarre sexual motivations. And he says a strange thing about Laura, that she had prepared herself to die. She knew that she was going to die, and it's not that she wanted to, but she had accepted the fact that she was going to be killed almost, which is implies that, you know, Laura knew that there was some kind of there was something that had been happening to Laura for a long time, in which she knew her part in the story. I love the fact that Ed is smoking in the hospital. Yeah. I mean, was that even legal back then? Or just in Twin Peaks? Ed's story about how he got together with Nadine instead of Norma is quite sad. But obviously, because this is Twin Peaks, it has to end with this amusing story about how Nadine lost her eye. And you can see just from looking at Albert that he wants to laugh. I really like the friendship between Norma and Shelley, and I get the sense that Norma hasn't had many friends in her life for some reason, perhaps because of Hank. That's just a sense that I get. Because of the fact that she's being so close with Shelley, who could only just have started working at the diner. You do get the sense that they are very close friends and would be for life. This is a great scene with Bobby and his father, when he asks his father what it is he does for work exactly, because it tells you instantly, you know, a lot. He's like, what, 18? 17, 18? And he has no clue what his father does for a living because of the fact that it's had to be kept so secret. And instead of answering, he just deflects and talks about what he's eating. And Bobby gives that knowing look back, like, yeah, I knew you were going to say something like that. I knew you weren't just going to answer me straight. Your work's more important than honesty to me. It's this wonderful speech from the Major about this vision he has, which is like a dream. I think it's very beautiful. The language is poetic and meaningful. The description is so lifelike that you can almost find yourself going there visually in your mind. Bobby, at first, he looked, you know, repulsed about. He looked detached from the situation, like he didn't want to hear this. And then as the story goes on, he has this look as if he's being pulled in as well. He's being pulled into this dreamland. And it's almost like this is as close as the Major could get to expressing his love and hope for the future for Bobby. He can't say it directly to him. He has to describe this story, use this wall, because otherwise it would be too real for him. I love Bobby's reaction. Oh, don't. I'm gonna cry. The look on his face, Bobby's face. Harriet's poem about Laura has a postmodern feel to it, and it's very simplistic, but it's very apt in describing Laura's journey, Laura's being. That dual sense of the good Laura and the bad Laura, the Laura that was innocent and the Laura that was corrupted, as well as, you know, the idea of Laura being in a better place now that she's gone. We see Ronette. She seems to be having an out-of-body experience, as if she's floating through the corridors of the hospital, and she has these horrifying visions. Okay, so that's it for now. I will be rewatching the rest of season 2 over the next few months, and if you want to join me for that, you are welcome to subscribe to my channel, or just or follow me on Twitter if you like, at the Log Sadie. And you can also comment below if you like to say something about this episode. I know that it's a very highly rated episode. It always appears in the top 5 favorite episodes for fans, and of course it was directed by David Lynch, and written by Mark Frost and David Lynch as well. So this is perhaps a reason why. Okay, so that's it, and until next time, goodbye.